Hello everyone. Today I will discuss cascading of asynchronous counter, or you can say cascading of ripple counter, and later on we will see synchronous counter. Okay, this is your cascading of asynchronous counter. In this, we can connect last stage output of one counter to the clock input of next counter so that to get higher modulus operation. Okay, for example, this is a modulus 32 ripple counter, or you can say this is mod 32 or 5 bit asynchronous counter. What we will do, this is your mod 4 counter, this is your mod 8 counter. Okay, so output of this counter is connected to clock input of this mod 8 counter, and it will get overall modulus 32. So you have to remember, if there is mod m counter and then it is connected to clock input of mod n asynchronous counter, overall we will get m into n modulus counter. Okay, in this all jk inputs are high. This is another one example. This is your mod 10 counter, decade counter. Again, this is your mod 10 or decade asynchronous counter. If we connect output of, okay, output of this counter to input of next counter, overall we will get mod 100 counter, or you can say mod 10 into 10, it is nothing, it is 100. So you have to remember, if mod m counter is followed by mod n asynchronous counter, we will get mod mn counter. Okay, now next we will see synchronous or parallel counter. Okay, till now you have seen asynchronous counter or ripple counter. In this we apply external clock pulse to first flip flop only, then output of first flip flop is connected to clock input of next flip flop in case of asynchronous or ripple counter. But in case of synchronous or parallel counter, a common clock pulse is applied to all the flip flops simultaneously. Okay, and in this we can design any count sequence such as 1 2 5 7 again 1, but you cannot design this type of sequence by using asynchronous counter. And what is the advantage of synchronous counter? Speed is more, because we are applying common clock pulse to all the flip flops simultaneously, so time delay will be TPD, propagation delay of any one flip flop. But in case of asynchronous counter, what will be the delay? That will be n into PDF, where n is number of flip flops and PDF is TPDF is propagation delay of each flip flop. Now suppose we have to design 2-bit synchronous or binary counter. Okay, or you can say mod 4 synchronous counter by using T flip flop or JK flip flop. What is the design procedure? Okay, first of all you have to determine number of flip flops required. Okay, for this we require 2 flip flops, because maximum state will be 3. First 0 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, again 0. So 2 flip flops are required. Suppose these 2 flip flops are A1 and A0. Okay, and after that make present state and next state table. This is A1 A0, this is present state, this is A1 plus A0 plus, this is next state. Okay, and TA1 TA0 is nothing, it is flip flop input, and we are using JK or T flip flop. Okay, now make this table 0 0, present state, where it is going 0 0 to 1, so write down 0 1, then 0 1 it is next state is 1 0, then 1 0 it is going to 1 1, then 1 1 again it is going to 0 0. Now this TA1 and TA0 you have to find out. Now recall your excitation table. Okay, in excitation table with the help of present state and next state we determine flip-flop inputs, and you do not need to worry. And you know, in case of T flip-flop it follows XOR property. Okay, if Qn plus 1 is T XOR Qn, then T will be Qn XOR Qn plus 1. Here I am, instead of QA I am taking A1, A0, and instead of Qn plus 1 I am using A1 plus or A0 plus. This is your next state. So TA1, how will you find out? It will be XOR of A1 and A1 plus. So 0 0 XOR 0 0, 1 XOR 1 1 0, 1 XOR 0, then 1 0 XOR 1. Similarly find out TA0. Again TA0 is nothing, it is A0 XOR A plus. 0 1 XOR 1, 1 XOR 0 it is 1, then 0 XOR 1 1, then 1 XOR 0 1. Now with the help of K-map we will find out value of TA1 and TA0 either by using Boolean Login theorem or by using K-map. This is your next step. This is your table. Okay, now you know TA0 all are 1, so you can directly write down TA0 is 1. Okay, and TA1 0 1 0, this is nothing, this is A0 0 1 0. So directly you can write down TA1 is A0 and TA0 is 1. And you know what is T, what is the relation between J, K and T? You know J equal to K equal to T. Okay, J equal to K equal to T. So now make two flip-flop JK, J0 K0 and J1 K1. Okay, for this I am using A1, for this I am using A0. Now this A1 it is MSB and A0 is LSB. Now apply common clock pulse to all the flip-flop. I am applying here common clock pulse. Okay, and in this case I am not giving output of this to clock input of this, or complemented output to clock input of this. I am giving common clock pulse to both the flip-flop. Now what is J1 and K1? Okay, J1 K1 is nothing, this is your TA1. Okay, this is A0, so connect J or K with A0. And what is TA0? TA0 is nothing, it is J0 K0. And you know what is J0 K0? Sorry, J0 K0 is nothing, it is what? 1. So J0 K0 is 1. In this way you can implement your mod 4 or 2-bit synchronous binary counter or parallel counter. Okay, you have to remember T equal to J equal to K. Now we will see 3-bit synchronous binary counter or mod 8 synchronous counter by using JK or T flip-flop. You know there will be 8 states, so 3 flip-flops will be required. Now make present state next state table. 0 0 0, present state next state will be 1, then 0 0 1, next state will be 2, 0 1 0, then 0 1 0 2, next state will be 3, then 4, 3, next state will be 4 1 0 0, then 1 0 0 4, next state will be 5, then 1 0 1 5, next state will be 6 1 1 0, then 1 1 0 6, next state will be 7 1 1 1, then next state 1 1 1 is 0 0 0, again it will go to 0 0. Now again determine TA2 TA1 and TA0. TA2 is nothing, it is A2 XOR A2 plus. Okay, 0 XOR 0 0, similarly 1 XOR 0 is 1. Now TA1, what will be TA1? It will be A1 XOR A1 plus. Okay, find out this. Now TA0, it will be A0 XOR A0 plus, all will be 1. Okay, now with the help of K-map, solve TA0, TA1 and TA2. First we will solve TA2. Okay, what is TA2? TA2 is 1 and 1. This is 1 pair, so it will be A1 A0. Okay, this is your A2 bar, this is A2, this is A1 bar, A0 bar, this is A1 bar A0, this is A1 A0, this is A1 A0 bar. You know 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. This is 0, this one. Now similarly solve for TA1. This one quad is possible. This will be TA1 is A0. You are already aware with K-map, so try to solve these three. TA0, there is one octet, or you can say all are 1, so it will be 1. TA0 is 1. Okay, now draw the circuit. There are 3 flip-flops. Okay, apply common clock pulse to all the flip-flops. Now first I am using MSB here. Now in this case MSB is here, LSB is here. Okay, what is TA2? TA2 is A1 A0. So TA2 is J2 K2. Okay, it will be A1 and A0, an AND gate. Okay, and TA1 is nothing, it is A0. So J1 K1 will be A0. Okay, so J1 K1 is nothing, it is A0. Now TA0, it is 1, so J0 and K0 will be 1. J0 K0 will be 1. Okay, it is all about your 3-bit synchronous counter or mod 8 synchronous counter. Now I will tell you the shortcut method from where you are getting this. Okay, just you have to concentrate on this table. Just concentrate on this. Okay, what is happening here? What is happening here? In A0, after every clock pulse, A0 is toggling. So it is only possible when TA0 is 1. Okay, after every clock pulse it is toggling, so it is only possible when TA0 is 1. You can directly write down TA0 is 1. Now come into A1. Okay, when it is toggling, when this value A0 is 1. Okay, just see here, 0 to 1 toggling when A0 is 1. Again when A0 is 1 it is toggling 1 to 0. When it is 1 again it is toggling 0 to 1. So you can directly write down TA1 equal to A0. Okay, now A2, when it is toggling 0 to 1, only in this case it is toggling. When A1 and A0 both are 1, and you know this is the condition of AND gate, when both are high A2 is toggling, so you can directly write down A1 into A0. So TA2 is A1 into A0. In this way you can directly write down, okay, these values, because by implementing using table it is time consuming process. These are the shortcut method to remember in exam. Now synchronous parallel counter. Okay, in general you have to remember Txn is nothing, xn minus 1, xn minus 2, x1 into x0. Okay, how? This is TA2 is A1 A0. Okay, suppose there is mod 16 or 4-bit synchronous counter. Now you can directly write down, okay, TA0 is 1. In this case this is LSB 1. Then TA1 is A0, JK A0. Then TA2 will be A1 A0, A1 A0. Okay, then TA3, it is A2 A1 A0, A2 and A1 A0. A1 A0 is coming from here, A2 is coming here, so A2 A1 A0 connect to JK. You know J equal to K equal to T. So these are the shortcut method. You know, after every clock pulse, A0 is toggling, so it is 1. And when A1 will toggle, when A0 will be 1, so it is A. A2 will toggle when both A1 and A0 are high, so A1, A0. A3 will toggle when A2, A1 and A0 are high, just like your 3-bit synchronous counter. Okay, it's all about today lecture, and you have seen how to design a synchronous counter, okay, and binary counter. And you can implement any counter, any sequence counter, either it is binary or non-binary. In synchronous counter there is no issue. Okay, in next lecture we will see non-binary synchronous counter. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video and have a nice day.